What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. Right now, I'm literally sitting in the parking lot of my job. I barely got 5 hours worth of sleep. I am fucking exhausted right now, but I'm not exhausted enough to at least cover what the fuck I just seen right now. Now, I just read the title. It says, Why Dave Meltzer Believes Former WWE Executive Stephanie McMahon Knew About Ashley Masaro Claims. And what I'm hoping when I see a title like that is that Dave Meltzer has evidence, because he's definitely not going to sit back and just start fucking flinging out allegations and suggestions and guesses, right? He's definitely not going to do that in a real life crime. It's a crime. They are charging Vince with sex trafficking. I will hope what he's saying right now isn't just making Stephanie complicit because of fucking guesses, right? The man does have actual fucking evidence, right? Because he does know this isn't a fucking wrestling storyline he's implicating Stephanie in, right? But like I said, because again, I'm tired right now, so I'm moody as fuck right now. I'm gonna hope and I'm gonna pray this dude's not gonna trigger the fuck out of me right now. Let's read the article. Down in the description box below, cross your fingers. WWE is currently under the microscope following a sexual misconduct lawsuit filed against the company, Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis by Janelle Grant. Running perpendicular to Grant's case has been the reemergence of late former WWE star Ashley Masaro's sexual assault allegations made in 2016 when she alleged that she was drugged and sexually assaulted by members of the U.S. Armed Forces while on a tour with WWE in Kuwait in 2006. She also alleged that Vince McMahon abused her, but WWE denied any knowledge of her claims following her suicide in 2019. It's since emerged that not only were WWE executives aware of Masaro's claims, but there was an active attempt to dissuade her from continuing her pursuit. Furthermore, a friend of Masaro's has claimed that former co-CEO Stephanie McMahon spoke to her about the incident, only for the WWE board to subsequently threaten her into silence. Dave Meltzer addressed the situation as it pertains to Stephanie McMahon during Wrestling Observer Radio, reporting what he had heard from WWE talent. He said that, from those he had spoken to, there was a belief that Vince is guilty of what he's been accused of, and there is no way it could be said that she, and WWE as a whole, didn't know. Noted how the perception of her had changed, as even when the allegations against her father and John Laurinaitis emerged, she had been seen as someone who had lost a power play within the company, leading to her 2023 departure as he returned. According to Meltzer, some people have been significantly impacted by Stephanie McMahon's implication. However, it has also raised questions over CCO Paul Triple H Levesque, considering he is both Stephanie McMahon's husband and a high-ranking official in WWE. So I didn't see legitimately, I'm not seeing any quotes in this whatsoever saying anything from Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer is, so I don't know who I'm more pissed off at. Should I be more pissed off at Wrestling Inc. for not dropping actual legitimate quotes about Dave Meltzer? Or should I be mad at the generalization that, according to Meltzer, and this is what they're saying, that Meltzer allegedly said, some people have been significantly impacted by Stephanie McMahon's implication. So it doesn't seem like Dave Meltzer is going out of his way to outright suggest Stephanie McMahon was a part of all this. So let's go back to Wrestling Anything. Why Dave Meltzer believes former WWE Stephanie McMahon. Why would you title your article like that without dropping any quotes relating Dave Meltzer to the situation as far as saying these things? These wrestling journalists, bro, folks, this is a legitimate situation. This is a legitimate situation. A crime has now been charged. It's now being contended. Okay, it is now being contended that a crime took place. Why are we clickbaiting articles saying that Dave Meltzer believes a certain situation? Now, look, far be it for me to take up for Dave in any situation, but from the looks of it, I see no quotes from Meltzer suggesting any of this at all. Nothing. In fact, it seems like he's kind of tiptoeing and being very careful, not outright saying Stephanie was actually a part of this, but rather suggesting that people within WWE believe that she was a part of this. So why did wrestling, and I'm going to read this title one more time. Why Dave Meltzer believes former WWE executive Stephanie McMahon knew about Ashley Masaro's claims. He didn't say that. Nor do I know whether or not he believes that. He says, and again, there's nothing to quote. So maybe he does believe it. I don't know. But here I thought I was going to rail against Meltzer, but I guess I'm going to rail against everybody else and the journalists in general. Stop clickbaiting situations that are dealing with legitimate fucking crimes. If you are going to title your article in the suggestive way that you just titled your article, I expect to see quotes, right? I expect to see Dave Meltzer actually give a claim as to why he believes Stephanie has actually done something. I expect to see Dave Meltzer say, I believe Stephanie McMahon has done this crime or is involved with this crime because so. No. He didn't say any of this, at least written within this article, unless they didn't do their further due diligence and didn't actually write a legitimate transcript to quote what he said verbatim. Look, because I know I'm going to get triggered about this case as it goes throughout the year. I know there's going to be a bunch of fucking morons who are going to suggest crimes that were not committed or suggest things that were done underneath said crime of charge without knowing the actual statutes underneath those crimes for them to actually be charged and for them to be indicted on completely. Folks, take 2 seconds. It doesn't take that long. 2 seconds to look up the definition of the word complicit. If you want to talk about Stephanie, if you want to talk about Triple H, take 2 seconds to look up the word complicit. Now I want you to go look up the definition of the word sex trafficking. Or not the definition, but the actual charge in itself. What does it mean? Where were they located for the crime that is now being right now charged against them? How does it work within that state? There are multiple criteria that you have to look at before you come to a legitimate fucking conclusion about anything. And then once you get this information, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what happened. I have no idea what happened. All we have right now is one side. And that side comes from the alleged victim's defense attorney. That's it. It comes strictly from the people who are supposed to do that for their client. That is their job. Their job is to give a suggestion, to tell what they believe to be their client's narrative and put it out there. What part do you people not understand? Right now, all we have that's legitimately confirmed, just based off the text messages, is that Vince McMahon is indeed a sick fuck. For what I understand right now, a crime was not committed. It does not take away from the responsibility of Vince McMahon and the predicament that he put WWE and TKO and all his family members and all his friends. It does not erase the fact that he has put those people in a predicament because of his own selfishness. It does not erase the fact that he should be far and far and far away from WWE as humanly possible and never return. No one is denying that. No one is arguing against that. What I am arguing against, and what I will continue to argue against, because apparently people think this is a defense of Vince McMahon. No, it's not a defense of Vince McMahon. It's called due process. That's a defense for anybody, anyone, anytime, and anywhere. Do your due diligence and go look up what the fucking word due process means. That's all I care about in the end of the day. Because the due process is going to tell me whether or not the person, the alleged victim, is a legitimate victim. Her contending that she's a victim based off of what happened in regards to the actions between her and Vince and everybody else that's a co-conspirator has nothing, let me re-fucking peep myself, has nothing to do at all with covering up for Vince being a victim in his own right. He is not a victim. The argument is never going to be whether or not Vince is the victim. He is not the victim. But this whole argument of power dynamics, consistently trying to focus on whether or not this person right here, oh, poor little baby, oh, poor little adult woman who decided to go with Vince, who decided to deal with Vince, who decided, hey, let me get some money out of this deal, and I'll do whatever disgusting thing that you want to do over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's the surface level shit that we have currently at the moment. I have yet to see text messages given from her side to see what was her rhetoric. I have yet to see whether or not Vince McMahon legitimately, because you know what sex trafficking means? Sex trafficking isn't just passing a woman around. Okay, that's not sex trafficking. To a lesser, let me say this because people are going to take this and make this like a false equivalency. It's called a fucking metaphor, you stupid no-neck motherfucking fat ass fucking neckbeards. It's not a legitimate fucking comparison in the regards to what them being on the same perimeter. No, it's not. I'm just making the metaphor just to show you at the bare minimum on a much lower scale what this can mean for anybody if you were to say sex trafficking just simply means having someone being passed around in a sexual manner. Again, to a lesser degree. If that was the case, do you know how many families, in particular religious families, could be indicted also? Because taking your daughter or taking your son and setting them up for a relationship with another person, technically speaking, that falls underneath the same definition if that's your logic. If that's your logic. If I take my son and I arrange something for him to meet up with a girl and they end up kissing, again, much lesser degree. Understand the definition of the word much lesser degree. Much lesser degree. But grouped in technically with that same family would be no different than Vince taking her and passing her off to other dudes to have sex with. Yes, I understand. Penis, vagina, completely different from lips to lips with little kids being arranged for actual reasons. Yes, I get it. Completely fucking different. But the same family, the same circumstances, and hypothetically, you can get them on that same charge of sex trafficking if that's how you judge this whole situation. That's what you don't understand. There's an underlying how can I put this? Because you people are so retarded. I swear. There has to be a force. There has to be some type of coercion. There has to be some type of threat, something lingering over her head for this to actually be sex trafficking. Do you not understand this? For the wrestling journalists who are going to clickbait you in the future. For the Dave Meltzers, if he does go out of his way to say something retarded. For the Sean Ross Sapps out there. For the Ryan Sattins of the world. A force, a coercion, a threat, something lingering over her head that makes her do the thing. If there's a fucking text message that said, I'm going to beat the shit out of you if you do not have sex with my partners. I'm going to fucking fire you if you don't have sex with my partners. Hey, I got this promotion. I think you can get it if you go suck Johnny's dick over there. That right there would now mean sex trafficking. That is sex trafficking. He held something over her head. Not a quid pro quo. Not saying you scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's not sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is literally saying, hey, over there, go have sex with him, or a pimp named Slipback is gonna backhand your stupid ass. That's sex trafficking. That's sex trafficking. Know the fucking difference. Know your fucking laws before you keep running with stories and running with opinions from stupid fucking journalists and clickbait headlines that don't have a fucking clue on what the fuck they're talking about. For the last motherfucking time, shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, sit the fuck back, pull out that device that is inside your pocket that about 20 years ago people wish that they fucking have to look up this information in real time without having to travel to a fucking library to go look up a fucking word in a fucking dictionary. I'm triggered. I'm fucking triggered. Folks, words have definitions. Laws have statutes underneath them for a reason. Factors, the word factor exists for a reason. This is not a wrestling storyline. This is not creative. This is a real life crime that is now being suggested, that is now, right now, undergoing. Don't run with opinions unless you know the facts first. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. I need to go. I can't do drugs at work. I can't do drugs at work. Gotta remember that, Devontae. Don't do drugs at work. You're gonna be just like Carl. Deuces, P.I.s.